Welcome to our planning module. Now that you have set SMART goals for yourself and your Avon business, let's take the next step and make these goals a reality. With a good plan, you will be sure to do the right stuff with the right time that you are able to dedicate to your Avon business.
So let's go over the planning agenda. We're going to talk about the O in BOSS, which stands for outreach, plan to grow your team, plan your Avon time, plan the right balance of activities, prioritize and gain control, and plan to take action, the 2-week calendar.
This module is about the O in BOSS, the outreach. Part of your plan will include your outreach. Who do you need to know to achieve your goals? And what do you need to do to meet new people? This business is a people's business, so you'll need to plan your outreach.
So let's begin by talking about how you can plan to grow your team. We can grow our teams in 2 ways. We can recruit new representatives to join Avon, and we can help some of our current representatives achieve a leader title. Let's start by discussing how we can find people to join Avon. Think about what are some of the best ways that you find people to join Avon.
Plan to connect with new people. In order to find your next team member, you will need to talk to people you already know. We call them our warm market. In addition, it is important to find opportunity to connect with new people. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to grow your team. We need to plan prospecting activities in order to ensure that we continue to make new connections. What prospecting activities can you plan to make sure that you continue to meet new people? Reflect on what your success has been and repeat those. Pursue your top customers. They already have value in the Avon products. Leverage your personal network, family, friends, and people you may know. Get involved in your community, PTAs, school events, hospitals, your children's activities, and even some of your own. Attend community events, job fairs, festivals, vendor shows. Conduct fundraisers with schools, sport teams, and any nonprofit organization, but run regular Avon opportunities to help people see what the opportunity is with Avon. What has worked well for you, you will want to continue to do as well.
So now let's focus on our plan for identifying potential leaders on your team. Let's take a look at this grid and review what defines motivation and sales success. This grid is to help you identify who you can focus on helping to achieve a leader title. So take a look here. On the motivation side, we have low all the way up to high. Think about on your team who really believes in Avon and who wants to grow her team. Think about somebody on your team that's driven or that you know is coachable. Somebody who likes to participate, somebody with a positive attitude, and somebody who helps others. If you have somebody on your team that has many of those qualities, then you would put her in that high box in the motivation category. So let's talk about sales success, which is the bottom line on the grid. Think about somebody on your team that has definitely grown their sales, consistently places their orders, pays their order on time. Maybe somebody who has many customers and also really leverages the Avon tools. Depending on where they are on your grid, they could truly be a potential leader for you.
We also want to work on planning our Avon time. Now that we have determined how we can plan to grow our team, let's shift focus on planning our time and our activities. Avon time is the time you dedicate to your Avon business. We all juggle so many things in life: family time, partner time, social time, me time, and Avon time. The only way that you can ensure that you achieve spending time with all of these people and on your business is to plan. How many of you work full time for your Avon business? How many of you work part time for your Avon business? And how many of you vary your Avon time week to week or month to month? What do you need to do to consider when establishing your Avon time? It's important to plan your Avon time so that you can focus and be effective. You need to be sure you dedicate enough time to your Avon business to achieve your goals. And as part of the application activities this week, you will reflect on what your goals and your estimated Avon time is.
So let's talk further now about how we actually spend our Avon time. It's important to get the most out of your dedicated Avon time. Now think about your current Avon time, the time you spend working on just your Avon business. Look at these activities and examples under each: planning, selling, managing, and leading. Think about how much or what percent of your Avon time are you spending in each of these categories. We recommend that you spend 50 to 75% of your time on your personal business, and then 25 to 50% of your time leading your team. You may wonder, gosh, how can I determine the right balance for myself? Maybe if you have a smaller team, you may spend closer to 75% of your time on your personal business and only 25% of your time leading your team. If you have a large team, your percentage of leading your team will definitely go up. So once you determine how you will balance your time between your personal business and leading your team, you need to consider how much of your selling time you spend on selling products versus selling the opportunity or recruiting. We encourage you to divide your selling time equally between selling the opportunity and recruiting, along with selling products. This will enable you to grow your team and your product sales.
Once you understand how you should balance your activities, it's important to actually plan on what you are going to do. Write down a list of all of your planned activities. In order to prioritize them, reflect on your activities and break them down into tasks when possible. The more specific you are, the better you are. Smaller tasks are more actionable and less intimidating. For an example, activities might be plan to participate in a local holiday bazaar. Tasks related to these activities can include send confirmation to the event coordinator, get products and catalogs together for the bazaar, and to plan the outfit for the bazaar.
So in order to manage your time most effectively, it is important to prioritize your tasks and schedule them in your calendar. You want to gain control by taking the right actions. The image to the right is a prioritization framework that allows each of us to consider tasks based on importance and urgency. Urgency is defined based on what is occurring within a campaign. That would be considered urgent. And tasks that are beyond this campaign and have no longer run away are considered not urgent. And then importance is measured based on what will grow my business and those tasks that are less important but essential to run, maintain my business. So the tasks are bucketed into specific corners and action is taken against each task. So if you look at the bottom left, it's the less important and not urgent box. These tasks should be delegated if possible. A task here might be training your downline on a new system or internal tool, maybe on Vibe or something like that. So if you look at the bottom right, it's less important and urgent. These mainly are administrative tasks that can be clustered or batched together and scheduled within the same time slot each week. A task here could be responding to a customer complaint. And then if you look at the top left, which is the important and not urgent box, these tasks should be scheduled in the future. A task here might be planning a team meeting focused on downline duplication. And then lastly, the top right, important and urgent. These tasks should be an area of focus. A task here might be coaching a leader that has a title at risk.
Let's consider some additional things that we can do to set ourselves up for success. We want to continue to focus on the most important and urgent task. Every so often, or when you see warning signs, take an opportunity to look at the task that you are completing each week. Can any of them be delegated, scheduled, or clustered? Setting appropriate expectations when you are out of the office. You want to ask yourself, what can we do to ensure that these things we do engage in feel that we are being responsive, and even if we are out of the office? We want the answer to be sure to set your out of office voicemail and email to reflect the fact that you may be partially or totally unavailable. Delineate when you might be returning and how best to get in touch with you in case of an emergency. When you're in the office, think about establishing leader hours. Leader hours provide an open call line for your entire downline at setting times throughout the week. For example, every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 till 11. The benefit is that you will be able to control your distractions throughout the day, week, and even provide a downline with designated times that you are available. This may require an adjustment period for some, but soon your team will come to understand when you can be reached and how important of being self-sufficient. You want to also find a dedicated space. Find a space that is calming and quiet so that you have time for sustained focus.
So all of your planning comes together on your calendar. This really is your roadmap for getting the right stuff done to achieve your goals. Here's an example of a 2-week calendar. You can see that this leader marked her Avon time in purple and planned a balance of activities and tasks to achieve her success. She obviously works part-time and focuses on her Avon business in the middle of her days when her kids are out of the house. Once you complete your 2-week calendar, it is important to reflect and ask yourself these questions. Does my calendar reflect the right balance of activities and tasks to achieve my short-term and my long-term goals? Am I planning to be busy or productive? Can I delegate any of these tasks to anyone else? Did I mark time for handling a cluster of tasks that are urgent but not important? Am I setting proper boundaries to be effective with my time?
Now that we have covered all of the seminar contents, let's talk about the application guide for this module. It is called Your Plan and Your Outreach. You will want to make sure that this is pulled up through the Adobe Acrobat Reader so that you can edit it with your information. You're going to want to make sure that you fill this out and complete this prior to our one-on-one calls and send it back so we still have time to look it over so we are better prepared for our time together. We also want to make sure that if you have any questions on this application, to please reach out to us coaches so that we can help and guide you through this task.
So let's prepare our next hot topic question for our upcoming group collaboration call. Share an experience in your past when you got lost, and explain how it made you feel and how you overcame it. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Your goals are your destination, and now is your opportunity to build your roadmap to get there.